We are back on the record at 3:22 p.m. This is the beginning of media unit number 5.
Okay. So at some point there's a meeting about the aggregate data that's discussed by the school board, right?
What are you speaking of?
So as far as I understand, there is a meeting, right? I believe it's on the Monday that we're talking about. I've lost the date here, but I think we're on the 27th of August.
You're talking about the strategic plan?
No, we're back to human growth and development.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
August 22nd.
Okay.
Okay. So at that meeting, was Mr. Meier, and you were at that meeting, right?
I was.
Yeah, okay. Was Mr. Meier ever excluded from voting or otherwise participating in the meeting at that time, if you know?
No.
Okay. But so this was, I guess, in fact, prior, this is August 17th? Was he excluded at that time?
I think there was so I've referenced the special meeting. I may have had the date wrong, but there was a special meeting to discuss the strategic plan for sure. I don't know if there was anything associated with human growth and development curriculum.
Okay. And so maybe I don't understand, but the special meeting from the strategic plan and the human growth and development data exercise, those are contemporaneous? Are they happening at the same time?
Those are two agenda items that were voted on at the August 22nd board meeting.
Okay. I got it. But so on August 17th, there's a discussion about the strategic plan, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's the meeting in which Mr. Myers was excluded from discussing that because he hadn't participated in the strategic plan document?
Object to the form, you may answer.
I think there was an exchange between Mr. Meier and Dr. Jessup Anger, and Dr. Jessup Anger, if I recall correctly, referenced the ability for board members to weigh in if they did not provide feedback on the Google Doc.
Okay. And at any time were you aware of why Mr. Meier did not participate in the Google Doc?
It wasn't a prerequisite, so I don't know why he didn't or did not.
And he never told you or the board?
I don't recall.
Okay. Now, were there any closed session meetings related to the strategic plan?
No, I don't recall any closed sessions on the strategic plan.
And how about human growth and development?
I don't recall any closed sessions on human growth and development either.
Okay, and to be clear, what I'm talking about is not just sessions that are noticed for human growth or development or noticed for strategic plan, but in closed sessions in which those topics were discussed.
Well, I don't know if we had any closed sessions in August. I don't recall us having any closed sessions in August.
Okay. And because part of what I'm getting at, though, is since you had this original December 9th meeting, this is, previously related to AVID and the overproduction, did the open meetings policies change at all?
Wait. Now I apologize. You're jumping around.
Oh, yeah.
Can you restate your question so we can have the right framework? Because we were in August, and I think you're now back to December.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. So, let's see if you can help.
Go ahead.
Okay. If I can help you follow along with this. So we're going to go back to the first subject, December meeting, over compliance. There's a discussion between Mr. Doman and Mr. Myers on that subject in the closed session, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and subsequent to that, was there any change in the board policy regarding public meetings?
I don't recall any changes in the policy in that space.
Okay, because, well, let's be clear. Mr. Meier then complained that there was, in the December 9th closed session, there was discussion of content in that meeting that wasn't actually noticed, correct?
Yes, he did, yes.
Okay, and have the board members undergone any training or anything else regarding public meetings since that time?
There was training by the Wisconsin School Board Association in August of 2022.
Okay, and that's also, was that before or after the human growth and development data cleanup?
It was all the same month. It was all in the same month of,
And also the same month as the strategic plan?
yes.
Okay. And did you participate in that?
I was,
That being the training?
The training, yes.
Go ahead.
yes, I participated in the training.
Okay, and did that training discuss closed sessions?
Yes, it did.
Okay, and discuss notice for closed sessions?
I believe it did.
Okay, and to discuss the rule on only discussing what was in closed session, what was noticed for the closed session?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and did that training include training on a walking quorum?
I believe it did, yes.
Okay, and do you know what a walking quorum is?
I do.
What is a walking quorum, if you know?
I'm going to object to the extent that question calls for a legal conclusion. You may answer to your understanding. Go ahead.
My understanding of a walking quorum is when you have 3 or more school board members on a 7-member board in this case, collaborating and discussing an item that's before the board for action.
3 or more, did you say?
More than 2.
Okay.
Let's just say it that way.
And was that what was happening on the shared document or something else?
Object to the form calls for a legal conclusion. Subject to that, you may answer as to your understanding.
And I'm sorry, because I want to, I guess hopefully for all clarification here, I'm just talking about based on your experience, not based on a legal conclusion.
Okay, my objection stands. I understand your response back. You may answer subject to all of that.
I think the concept of a Google Doc and then subsequently school board members collaborating in it is a legal concept that I had not thought of as a potential violation of open meeting laws. I never thought about it from that perspective, and I don't have the legal background, nor is there a bright line from school law scholars that says that is clearly a violation of open meeting laws.
Okay, but we had at least 3 members of the school board, let's say, entering notes into this Google Doc, correct?
Yes, and while I cannot object based on foundation, I guess all I would share with you is, Mr. Cross, I understand your line of questioning. There's a presumption that administratively I was aware, or our team was aware, that this was a violation of open meeting laws. We didn't view it that way. We viewed it more as a collaborative document. It was never really thought about it in the context of, is this a violation? If that had crossed my mind, then we wouldn't have done it, obviously.
Okay. Prior to that training for WASB, from WASB on open meetings, had you ever shared documents collaboratively with the school board?
With the entire school board, I don't recall.
Okay. Have you ever shared documents collaboratively with members of the school board?
Yes.
Who have you shared documents collaboratively with?
From what time period are you speaking?
For your entire time as superintendent?
I'm sure I've shared documents with many school board members. I don't recall which ones or who or when, but I'm sure I've shared documents in the past.
Okay. Have you shared documents collaboratively with Dr. Jessup Anchor and nobody else from the school board?
It would be hard for me to draw the conclusion of just one person. I may have shared documents and sought feedback and counsel from various school board members.
Okay, what could be the reasons for, if any, for sharing documents collaboratively with some board members but not others?
Objection, that's vague and multiple. Subject to that, you may answer to the best of your
Could be
ability.
working on certain items with certain school board members that I'm not with others. It could range. I don't know why. And I think, again, you're speaking to the culture of if we are working under, if there's a culture that you can only work with the board in the boardroom, that's a very chilling culture.
Okay. And I guess, though, to be clear, what did you, when you said work there, what did you mean?
That's what I meant, work.
Okay.
Speak to, view documents together with. This is a whole realm from a legal foundation standpoint of how to operate with a school board that I have not had to deal with in the past.
Okay. But so leaving aside the context of the shared document, if you received feedback directly from, let's say, 3 members of the school board on the policy committee, the strategic plan, would that be a problem based on your training on open meetings?
Objection, that calls for a legal conclusion. Subject to that, you can give him your thoughts.
I think I gave you my answer. This concept and this discussion issue of the ability for the school board to weigh in on a Google Doc is a legal foundation that I immediately did not have going into August. If I had known that there was the belief that was a violation of open meeting laws, we wouldn't have done it.
Okay, have you shared a document collaboratively with the entire school board since the strategic plan
I
document?
don't recall.
Okay. And have you shared a document collaboratively with some portions of the school board since the strategic plan document?
I think the lesson that learned from the sharing of the strategic planning document was that you can't have a Google Doc and then expect the entire board to collaborate in it together. That if there's a separate Google Doc that is either sent out to the entire board and individual board members give you feedback, or if it's just between a school board member and a staff member, that is permissible. That's my understanding. But again, I would just respectfully state that your line of questioning is presuming that there is a legal foundation and agreement of a certain perspective of how the law should be carried out. And that is, you are presuming a lot.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Sure. Appreciate that respect. But so on the feedback here, again, we're clear that not only you had access to feedback from school board members, but other school board members had access to feedback from those school board members,
Yes.
correct? Okay. All right. I think the best thing to do right now is to pause for a second. Let me talk to my client and see if we're done.
Okay.
We are off the record at 3:36 p.m. We are back on the record at 3:41 p.m.
Jeez, okay. I appreciate that. Thanks for all your time here today.
Sure.
I do appreciate it. Okay. And I just have a brief series of questions here. And now we're going to go to another period of time where we've been before. Human growth and development. There's a meeting on Friday. There's another meeting on Monday. Is that right? I'm sorry. There are documents that are available to the public on Friday, and then there's documents available to the public on Monday, right?
I don't recall if we made the information that we made available to the board on August 21st immediately then available to the public on August 22nd. I don't recall how we handled that disaggregated data set.
Okay. Well, but at some point, there was slides, I think, were changed, and it included the updated data set.
Okay.
Okay? And I know you've said that those were labeled, but for people who looked at the data on Friday and then and then again on Monday, would that data have been different?
I don't recall if Dr. Marble and her team just uploaded new, different information right away. There was a change in the administrative assistant in my office at that time, so I'm not quite sure who was handling board docs and uploading board docs. So I can't recall, Mr. Cross.
Okay, because that's, I guess, my final kind of question here, barring anything else, which is who would have had the ability or the permissions to change that document?
I'm trying to think of who uploaded documents for us at that time. I don't remember.
Okay, and because there's an email that we read today from Director Hoig to the person who's in charge of Infinite Campus on that subject, right?
Lisa Winters?
Lisa Winters, right?
Right.
And, and to Dr. Marble on updating the slide deck. Do you recall that?
I do recall us going over that information, yes.
Okay, so based on that, would you agree with me that Dr. Marble had the ability to update the slide deck?
She updated the slide deck. I'm not sure if that was then uploaded to board docs that made it available to the public.
Okay, I appreciate it.
I don't remember. I don't know how that information, again, the information that was shared with the board on August 21st, Sunday, August 21st, I don't know if that then became made available to the public on Monday, August 22nd.
Okay. Your administrative assistant, can that person update documents to board docs?
Yes.
Could Dr. Marbles at that time do it?
I don't recall if we gave access to board docs to the cabinet at that time.
Do they have that access now?
They do.
Okay. And could you have done it at that time?
I could have, and I don't know if I did that or not.
Fair enough. Okay. But did you have any reason to think, based on that email that we saw, that it wasn't Dr. Marble updating the slide? I guess you answered that. Dr. Marbles updated the slide deck, that we can be sure of. Who updated it from the slide deck to board docs?
How we made it accessible to the public, I don't recall that process.
Okay. Is it likely that it would have been the administrative? Let me put it another way. I just want to find out who made those changes. Okay. Is there
Who made the changes to the?
Sorry.
Let him get his question.
Who uploaded the document to board docs?
I don't remember.
Fine. But is there going to be, based on your knowledge and experience, is there a way that we can find that out?
No.
Okay. Like
There wouldn't be like an electronic record of who
No,
put it
not
there.
with board docs.
You've answered his question.
Okay.
Not with board docs. There's not like a timestamp. That's actually a pretty good suggestion. But there's no timestamp that says on this date at this time something was uploaded
By some user.
by this user. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just one thing, and so we're fine. All right. Wow. We
That's
didn't even
it?
go the distance here. So
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we'll see what she has to say. I might have a half an hour extra.
Okay.
That's a little deposition humor for you. Okay.
I'm okay.
Well, again, thank you very much for.
No worries. I hope clarity was provided. I mean, because the expulsion hearing starts at 5. I need at least a half hour before
Right,
we start.
for fairness for everybody, right?
So
All right.
I have time.
I'm hoping to take less than 5 minutes of your time.
Okay.
You understand I'm legal counsel for the school district and all of the school board members in relation to the lawsuit Mr. Meier filed, correct?
Yes.
You've provided some testimony today, and I am only seeking clarification of 2 small areas.
Okay.
Number 1, you were asked questions concerning your understanding of how many board members may constitute a sufficient number for purposes of a walking quorum. Do you recall that question and answer?
I do recall.
How many board members has the school board had since you commenced employment with the district?
A total of 9 now.
All right. And was it 9 when you started?
No, I mean, there was the original 7.
Okay.
And 2 have left.
So at any one time, is the total number of elected board members on the school board of Wauwatosa 7?
Yes.
All right. And in order for, do you have an understanding as to whether the issue of a walking quorum depends on the number of members who could effectuate or discuss and potentially consider action? Do you have any understanding of how that relates to how many members are on the board?
Objective form.
Subject to that, you can answer.
I don't think it matters how many people are on the board. It matters how many people are talking to one another.
Okay. Do you know why that matters?
Objective form.
Because I think it matters because if there is more than if you're close to a quorum of the board already having discussions outside of a posted meeting, then you have the potential of conducting business of the board or conducting business of the public without the public having knowledge of it.
Okay. With respect to the human growth and development decision that the board had, you understand? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
How many board members did it take to pass a motion as to whether to accept or not accept the curriculum?
4.
All right. How many board members, to the best of your knowledge, made comments or asked questions on the Google Doc that you were discussing with opposing counsel earlier?
I don't believe, it may have been 3 maximum.
Okay.
But I don't recall.
My second area of inquiry relates to a conversation you had with opposing counsel with regard to the appointment of the Personnel Committee. I'm orienting you to that testimony.
Policy?
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. The Policy Committee.
Okay.
All right. You referenced a meeting where the Policy Committee was created?
Yes.
All right. You indicated in your testimony that you would need to see minutes to be certain of something. Do you recall generally discussing that?
Yes, I was unsure. I couldn't recall if we appointed members immediately in the creation of the committee or not. I couldn't recall.
All right, well, I want to refresh your recollection, and I'll make a representation of counsel that I literally went on the internet. Well, let me get some foundation out. Are your school district's board policies available for anyone who has an internet connection?
Yes, if you go out to a website called Board Docs, Board, B-O-A-R-D, and then Docs, D-O-C-K-S.
If you can, we're probably happy to stipulate if you just show me the.
Yeah, I'll show it to you, and I'll show it to the witness. I'll make a representation of counsel that I went on your district's website, navigated to Board Docs, and have pulled up the meeting minutes from the Wauwatosa School Board meeting on Monday, November 22, 2021. Do you see that on the screen I'm showing to you?
I do see the meeting minutes, yes.
Right under that it says generated by Mary Newman, N-E-U-M-A-N-N, on Tuesday, November 23, 2021. Who is Mary Newman?
She is my former executive assistant.
As a matter of practicality, do the minutes get put on the website only after they are approved by the board at a subsequent meeting?
Yes.
So fair to say, given that I pulled these up today, that these are the approved minutes?
Yes.
And I just want you to read to yourself everything after item 6, superintendent action item, and before item 7, public comment on non-agenda items. Read it to yourself. Let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Having read that, do you need to clarify your testimony earlier?
I do.
Please do so.
I referenced that there were 2 committee members identified in the creation of the committee. That is not what the motion stated.
And to be clear, a motion was filed and ultimately approved to create a standing committee called the Policy Committee. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Check
All
this
right.
the form.
And are you aware, you've clarified your testimony, are you aware of any other meeting where there was a formal board action to appoint Mr. Meier or anyone else to the Policy Committee after November 21 of 2021?
No.
All right. Those are my only two clarifying. So he will likely have follow-up.
Okay.
Great. Did you, have you prepared for your deposition here today?
Did I prepare?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody about your deposition at all here today?
I talked to Ms. Lubinsky.
Okay, when was that?
Today's Thursday, maybe Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, did you review any documents in preparation for your deposition here today?
There's a staffer that works for Ms. Lubinsky who asked me about, did we have minutes? I can't remember what he was asking for. He was asking if we had minutes, and I told him if they're not on board docs, we don't have it.
Okay. And did you consult any other documents in preparation for your testimony here today?
No. I was informed that there was nothing to prepare for or to study up on, so I didn't engage in that practice.
Okay. Sorry, what document did they ask you for?
I'll make a representation. It was for the December closed session. We were looking for minutes in that regard.
Okay.
I don't mean to help the witness, but it didn't have anything to do with what I've cross-examined or what I've examined him on. I can assure you of that, counsel.
Okay. I don't understand it, but I don't think that's we need to ask about it. Uh-huh. Yeah, right. Okay. But that speaks for itself. Okay. Thank you very much.
That's it?
And I don't have any further questions either.
Oh, you're not done?
Nope, I'm done.
Okay.
This concludes the deposition. We're off the record at 3:53 p.m. This is the end of meeting of unit number 5.
Okay.